Welcome back to Family Comes First. We were just speaking with Mandy Gill, who found herself at a loss as to how to make ends meet, and Sister Judy Fay of the food pantry at St. Raphael in East Meadow. Joining us now is Tony Agata. He is an executive board member of the food pantry at Nassau Community College, and he is here to speak to us about the nest.
Welcome, Tony.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about this trip.
The nest. You have to tell us, what is the nest?
The nest stands for Nassau and Empowerment and Support for Tomorrow, and it's a food pantry that's operating right now on the campus of Nassau Community College right here in Garden City.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We recently took a trip to the nest. Let's take a look.
The pantry got started, we actually started working on it in 2013, the fall of 2013. It took about 2 years to actually get everything going, and we're a 501c3, so that was a little paperwork and just getting everybody on board and figuring out exactly what our mission is. And then we opened up the doors in September 2015. Yeah, so we just finished our 3rd year. So food is obviously the big pull. Most people come in here because they need some groceries for themselves and for their families. But we also have personal hygiene items. So over in the corner here we have shampoo and deodorants and all kinds of things like that. We have diapers for babies. We have school supplies. So I know right now we have some big cartons full of binders and loose leaf pens and pencils, basic things. We're on a college campus, so obviously that makes sense. And our donations come from many different sources. So we have a very generous campus here. So folks from across campus bring us donations, do food drives for us and school supply drives and so forth. And from out in the community, many community groups assist us. We get a lot of help from the 2 food banks on the island. So it's Long Island Cares and Island Harvest. They're wonderful. They supply us with a lot of our food, and that helps us to keep going. So we get support from many different sources. So the nest is open to everybody on the NCC campus. So most of our guests are in fact students, but we also are open to faculty and staff members and folks that work here.
I've been working 17, 18 years here, and I was checking my email, and there was an email that said about turkeys and all the fixing. And I'm like, oh, no, I could do that. So I emailed Sharon back, and I said, is that for staff too? She responded, absolutely. I teared up a little bit, because you cannot be ashamed or afraid when you need help. And the nest came right on time for me, as well as my husband. We both work. We work very hard. We've been on our jobs and realized in 2016, we were falling under the category of the working poor. When you have individuals like Sharon, who will not make you feel like you have to be ashamed or afraid, a helpful heart, a concerning heart, a giving heart, it's like maybe like 1 in 100,000.
I discovered this program because I was looking for a job and nowhere was hiring, so I started volunteering, and that's how I ended up getting a student aid job. I started helping out, because it's a good spiritual moral of what I believe in, giving really matters most, and helping out others who need it.
I was real humble, and I began to tell others, printing out the flyers, giving them out, encouraging people to participate with the nest. Do not be ashamed, do not be afraid. And the most vital thing that I could do is pray and donate my time as well.
Everybody across campus was really involved in helping with the nest too. So those folks are our guests, but we also have volunteers from all areas of the campus, from every department, every office on campus. They volunteer, they donate for us, they donate to us, and so it's a campus-wide initiative. And we have a website. It's Nest NCC at weebly.com. So if anybody wants to know a little bit more about what we do and what our mission is and who we are, or you're looking for ways to donate or to help out, please feel free and take a look. It's it's very nice. We have a tech committee. Those are also volunteers, and they do a great job of keeping up our website and our social media presence and so forth. We're trying to get the word out because we really need all the help we can get.
Well, that was wonderful. Yeah. Tony, tell us, how did you get involved with the Nest?
I used to want to be a chef, and it's a bit of a rough life for family life. You know, I hope to have kids one day. And when I started thinking about that, I decided to go back to school to find something a little bit more stable. And I joined the food and nutrition program at Nassau Community College because that's where the hospitality department was. And it was just such a nice connection between helping people and what I love, the world of food. From that, I met some really great people on campus that convinced me to get involved, which I didn't do when I was younger. And I was helping run the garden, and from that, I got involved with Sharon. I met her from the Nest, and it was such a good match that they asked me to come on board, and this was right before we actually got to start. And then we've opened this wonderful pantry, the Nest, which stands for Nassau and Empowerment and Support for Tomorrow. And now I'm here with you guys.
Yeah, that's great.
And it seems like you're just loving this, right? Loving what you're doing there. Yeah. So tell us, what are some of the best things happening? Your best of.
I would say, I mean, since the show's family comes first,
right?
We're helping all members of our college family. Mm-hmm. We're going to be coming up to the point soon where we're going to be having students that are graduating from college. We're at year 3. Bachelor's is 4 years. Next year, we'll start to hear these stories of students that said, I graduated from college, I'm moving on to the next part of my life and my career and improving the lives of my family. We've been having the opportunity to give students an opportunity for service learning, an ability to gain relevant skills while performing a social service on campus. And I think one of the best and funniest things is we've gotten the support of 2 governors. Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown has been opening and hosting an annual comedy show for us, but also Governor Cuomo made a commitment to this issue of hunger on college. Not comparing the two. I'd say the second one is with the actual governor, with Governor Cuomo. That's a really big deal. He's been giving us a lot of support and invited us to help solve this issue of food insecurity on a state level.
Well, Victoria's an educator, so
Absolutely.
I know you have the student service.
I do, and the service learning piece is so important because it's always a give and take. Yeah. So sometimes we find ourselves needing a little help, and then we are able to give and learn. So what would you say some of the skills that students can really learn by becoming involved?
Well, students from all different areas actually need to perform volunteer hours. I was a nutrition dietetics student. The Nutrition Club, for instance, came into the food pantry and they organized all of the foods into nutritional groups, proteins, vegetables, fruits. So they get a lot of great experience for what they need in the food world. Dietitians play a big part in what we call community feeding, which is what we're doing at the Nest. The social work students come in. They help with linking people to other services in the area, whether it's for domestic violence or homelessness outreach. The nursing students come and do things related to health and just volunteering with us. I get to be on, this great interview with you guys, and that's great experience. We saw Ryan also get to do something that we wouldn't normally be able to do if it wasn't for this opportunity.
That's fabulous. And you have said also that while you are a family on the college, you also service families of students so that they can bring home. Tell us a little bit about that.
So whether you're an individual or you have parents at home, we have people with elderly parents. We have parents that are students that have kids at home. And that's why one of the reasons why we have the baby food and the diapers, personal care products, because we're not just helping the students, but they take home food based on their family size. So if they have, a number of children or a number of parents at home, they'll take home a little bit more food each week to help support the family. And, that's a lot of times what we hear is people say, I either had food for my family, I had money for that, or I was able to take the bus to school. And to know that we can help support those families and keep the students in school, which is only going to make their families stronger, that's...
They don't have to choose.
And they don't have to choose.
Yeah, which is amazing.
I love people who are advocates.
Yeah.
So, and I've got that lawyer background.
Yeah.
So, actually, we both do. And so, tell us what's going on with New York State, because I think you're working on some exciting projects.
That's a really big thing. So like I said, Governor Cuomo made a big commitment to this issue. He invited us up to Albany for a task force called the Food Insecurity Task Force, which is focused on solving this problem of hunger on college campuses. Not long after we started working with him, we saw his initiative to mandate on all SUNY and CUNY schools that if they don't have food pantries, they start them. Even at Nassau, we've gotten support from one of the academic teams, and this is really cool. The interior design program at Nassau Community College is taking part in a local charity competition hosted by a group called Construction Long Island. And it's like construction, but it's CAN, struction, li.org. And they're having a competition at RXR Plaza in Uniondale. So what these teams do, it's a mixture of professional architecture and design and construction teams, academic teams from Nassau, other high schools in the area, Friends Academy, and they build like these really cool large structures out of cans of food. And these stay on an exhibit for about a month, and people can come, and we ask that you come. It's so cool. You got to come check it out. And you bring a can of food as your admission, and that's sort of like a vote. So you come and look at all the different structures, and you place your can of food in whichever one you like the most. And when this all gets taken down, the food gets donated to Island Harvest, Long Island Cares, us at the food pantry. So we've gotten thousands of cans last year, about 5,000 cans from the Nassau County Community College team. And not only that, but even the sports teams at the school help us out. The football team, there's like over 100 of those guys. So whenever we get like a large food delivery, they'll come, they'll line up. This is a thing that would take hours. They'll get it done in 10 minutes. So all sorts of support.
Share with us the need that's there. Why so many people you're helping, but why are so many people in need? What's your thoughts?
The story that really stands out the most to me, because this is the first one that I heard, and this is what brought me in and how we got started, goes back to the football team. Nassau Community College is sort of known as a feeder school for people that maybe didn't get into a four-year football program but still want to pursue that. Our school's gotten people into the NFL, to great colleges, so we get a lot of students from out of state. And there were some students that came from out of state, and Sharon had noticed that one of her students wasn't in class anymore. So she asked his friend, what happened? Where did he go? And he told us that the friend dropped out because his family didn't have a lot of money. You know, they come from out of state, and Long Island's very expensive, and a lot of people don't know how expensive it is here. And he just went back home because he had no food. And this student told Sharon that he would get so hungry that at night he would have no food in the house, and he would just go for a walk until he would get so tired he can go home and go to sleep. And Sharon started collecting food and like giving it out of the back of her car. And I mean, that's how it all started, just because we were losing students, and we want to make sure that we can do whatever we can to keep them in school. And yeah, that's where.
So how can our viewers help?
I would say definitely check out our website, nestncc.weebly.com. Go there. There's information on donating to us, giving us further support. Definitely, I would say everybody should go and check out the construction exhibit at RXR Plaza in Uniondale. Bring a can of food as a vote. It's really cool when you see this stuff. I mean, you're going to want to take selfies in front of this. This stuff is so cool, these structures. And organizing food drives through another organization called Rock Can Roll. Instead of Rock and Roll, it's rockcanroll.org. They organize food drives for workplaces, churches, schools. And then what she does is she'll work with AHRC, and they bring the food, they deliver it to us, and it's a great partnership. And also can't not mention Island Harvest and Harry Chapin Foundation, Long Island Cares. They've been a big help. Any of those organizations really, really helps us out.
Thanks for mentioning Harry Chapin.
Oh, you guys involved?
Long Island Cares. Yeah, absolutely. And I knew this was going to happen. We've run out of time, Tony. We've run out of time.
Great
so we can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing your enthusiasm and love for what you're doing.
I love it.
And all the good work that's coming from the Nest.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We're keeping people in school, and we're going to help them strengthen their families.
Thank
Stay
you.
well.
Thank you for that.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.